in earnest, start a political dialogue. But of course, we did not limit it to only politicians. There were a series of rounds of discussions in country where mainly we targeted heads of political parties and leaders of political parties, but also we involved civil society. Easy way of helping you to recall these rounds of talks, where if I mention the frequent visits of Goodluck Jonathan into the Gambia, and subsequently the visits of Ibn Chambers into the Gambia. Most of you in the media were covering those visits and those meetings. Almost all the political party leaders participated in series of discussions, and they identified issues in the document. Surprisingly, there were so many other issues in the 2020 draft that so many people were not happy with. And they identified these issues at their level, and they discussed it without any influence from government. And the Ministry of Justice, we were only facilitating these meetings. We allowed the politicians, and in some cases the civil society who participated in those discussions, to highlight their areas of concern. And this was facilitated by an international NGO, International IDEA, who have got expertise in helping democracies develop constitutions, not only the Gambia. In fact, they have supported the CRC and offered them trainings and facilitated some study visits for them. So that's the specialty of International IDEA, to support democracies to develop constitutions for their countries. So I wrote to IDEA immediately, I think late September or October in 2020, and invited them to come and support the process. But because it is a constitution, and government, like we are here today, government is a key stakeholder in that process, I decided to advise that government takes a back seat. We only facilitate through an independent organization. So IDEA facilitated this, and IDEA is available. People can consult them. They have even opened an office in the country here. They have the reports that emanated from all these dialogues. And I'm happy Dr. Sise, who is sitting with me here at that time, he was in the opposition, and he was representing his party in those discussions. So to say that there were no consultations, just government woke up and brought changes, I think that's not accurate. We got reports that were submitted to us by International IDEA at the end of those rounds of discussions. Now, those reports were put together with, of course, the cabinet paper and other documents, form the collection of documents that we took to cabinet for cabinet to review the document. Now, of course, cabinet went beyond what the issues that were raised by political parties and the recommendation that emerged from those consultations and probably from other documents. Cabinet went beyond that and effected the changes that we are now seeing and discussing. So first, that's the misinformation I wanted to clear. There was a series of rounds of consultations, and we did not only use International IDEA. For every round of discussion, we have used eminent Gambians to work with them side by side. In some instances, we used imams and pastors. They're here, they're hearing me. In some instances, we use eminent Gambians who are expertise, former speaker, I think in one instance, and in another instance, a retired human rights activist from international community. We use them we call them, in some instances, I think we call them eminent Gambians or whatever. So to work with IDEA, so that when IDEA, because they are a non-Gambian entity, when they go to the table, they go with these respectable Gambians to facilitate the discussion, because the ministry, as a government ministry, we decided to just take a backseat. We normally will attend the opening or the closing ceremonies, but everything was facilitated by IDEA. So that the IDEA submitted a report to me, which I took to cabinet. And this consultation culminated into the famous Abuja convergence that you had been talked about. We took all the heads of political parties, all of them, except I think PDOIS, Khalifa Saleh, maybe one or two, if I can't remember, but majority of all of them went to Abuja. I was with them, but I did not sit in the room where the negotiation was taking place, because again, the same policy position, government should not influence this. We need to exhaust the political process, because we needed a political consensus, and we need that even today. Without a political consensus, this document will never go through. So they met and they discussed. The report that I received from that consultation, that final consultation in Abuja, was they've agreed on almost all the issues that separated them except one, which is the famous retrospective application of the term limit. Other than that, the report submitted to me is that they have accepted all of them. Now, in August last year, when we were thinking of relaunching the process, because at some point we have to suspend the process because 2021 election was very near. So we say, okay, we have to leave the constitution until, and this agreement was reached among them, we suspend it until after the election cycle. Then we can relaunch it again. And the election cycle includes the presidential, the parliamentary, and the local government election. Once those were completed, when we initiated to relaunch the process altogether again. But before we even go to cabinet, we again brought international idea. And these negotiations were funded by partners who are also in country, and they can be consulted. Resources have been spent in all these consultations. So international idea came, I think they came in August last year, and they came again. They still went to refresh the people that they met before and try to see where they left off before the election. The positions are the same. And again, I received a report from IDEA as to where things are. Few areas that they have not agreed on. I think citizenship was another area. The issue of cross-carpeting of National Assembly members is another area, in addition to the famous term limit. So then these are the documents I put together and went to cabinet. So I think the first thing that I need to clear is to say that this happened out of the blue. There was no consultation. Of course, we would not want Peter to start a CRC process altogether again, to open the document again as if there was no consultation. CRC, with all due respect, did a lot of consultation, locally and externally. And the document that we're talking about is a product of that extensive consultation. So if you are reviewing the document that has gone through that wide range of consultation, the consultation that you're going to do should be limited. You don't necessarily have to call everybody else again and say, what's your view? Because it's a document that so many people, sectors I have an interest in, and we cannot all agree unanimously over everything in the document. So we were being cautious and have been advised that the consultation should be a limited one. And we did a limited consultation, went to cabinet, and we are out and we are here today. I think that will be my starting point to clear the air, that there were indeed consultations, and these changes did not just drop from the air.